Welcome to KHOU 11 News. We're live on our Facebook page. With me, I'm Len Cannon, along with Marcelino Benito, to talk about a story. We've actually been covering this the past few weeks. Things have changed. We know about stories where there's the term jugging is used, where people go to the bank and then they get followed, and then get jacked because they got cash on them. Now people are being followed from stores themselves. Explain what you're seeing.
And specific stores, Len. We're not talking about Targets and things like that.
Yeah.
We're talking about high-end shopping centers, the higher-end shopping centers that we have here in the city of Houston.
They're following the money.
They're following the money. And the reason police say they are doing that is, there's always a little bit of risk, an element of risk to every crime. But if they go to these areas, they know chances are whatever these people are purchasing is worth a whole lot of money. So if they follow the right person, if they're successful, they're going to score. You
had an incident where a woman bought a very expensive Dior bag, I think about $6,000.
The River Oaks district bought the purse, left. They didn't go home. They decided to go to Nordstrom's to do a little more shopping at the Houston Galleria, valeted their car. Afterwards, they were in the mall for about 45 minutes, came out, their car had been broken into.
So much for a good valet now.
Yeah. Car was broken into. They swiped the $6,000 purse, and police believe she was followed. They saw her purchase the bag at the River Oaks district, and then they were followed to the next stop.
So I know there are a few examples of this happening where not only people following you and maybe breaking into the car, they're also accosting people with guns and then taking the bags or whatever else they want.
And that's the concern. There's two types of things going on here. There's people breaking into cars. If they see that you're not in your vehicle, they'll break into your car. That's the easiest thing to do. Times, if they know you have a lot of good stuff, if you're carrying a lot of cash, a lot of valuables, and they find no opportunity to actually just break into your car, they're going after people with guns.
This is crazy. You could be at a restaurant, okay, wearing a nice watch. Somebody's in the restaurant scoping you out.
And they're doing it from their cars, we're told by police. They scope out in their own vehicles. They work in crews, they work in teams. So they're not just in their vehicles, they're walking around in these shopping centers, mingling in. You really wouldn't be able to tell. And they're keeping eyes on who's doing it, who they can target. And the interesting thing is, from an interview I did with police today, is that this is almost like a full-time job for these crews.
It would have to be.
They do it for hours every day, just watching, waiting. Maybe one particular day they won't go after anybody, but they watch and they watch. And a lot of these people that frequent these higher-end shopping centers and stores, they're repeat customers. So they're scoping these people out time after time, waiting for the perfect chance to strike.
So this isn't like happenstance where they get lucky. They're actually sitting
strategy.
And taking time. It might be weeks before they decide to follow someone.
It's strategy, and that's what's so dangerous, and that's what has police so concerned, and that's why they want people to be aware, because now, as you were saying earlier, we used to go shopping, our wives used to go shopping, and you don't worry about it. You don't think twice.
About it.
You get in your car, you go home, you don't look in your rearview mirror. You don't think someone's following you. Police want to put that in people's heads now. That's what the story tonight hopes to do. Think about these things when you're leaving, because it's happening all over Houston, and it's happening in key areas.
Every time we get these new robberies, it adds to a list. You got to be careful in the drive-through. Fast food.
Yeah, you can't even go to the fast food.
You got to be careful in so far grocery stores now, but any parking lot, you got to be careful. I don't care what the store is. And now this. So I guess tonight, I don't want to give the story away. You'll lay out what I call the usual suspects, the places where people are targeting, what shopping centers, maybe what stores, and perhaps with people. You have to be more aware than ever, especially with it used to be you'd be in a high-end shop. Most of the other shoppers typically are high-end, all right? So you don't think about there's a thief among us. But folks are blending in, apparently.
And a lot of people, what police are also concerned about is they strike anywhere. For the woman you talked about, the purse, the guy that we did the story before, he made a pit stop at an auto collision shop. That's where they struck him. Another person actually went home, and that's the fear. if people go home,
Yeah.
a lot of these times they're actually breaking into the home and things are getting very violent there.
So it's not just leaving the bank, because I'm always careful leaving the bank. I'm checking.
I think we're all trained to after over the years,
Yeah.
but we haven't really thought about that shopping element
Yeah.
to it, and that's what's different. And tonight we're going to break down, because it's not happening everywhere. It's important for people to know.
Specific places.
These robbery crews are targeting 5 really high-end areas. One of them, we talked about it at 6, is obviously the Houston Galleria. We all go to the Galleria.
But this is different from, say, like during the holidays, when we tell people don't leave packaged gifts in the car because folks are out looking because they know you've been shopping. This is open season any time of year.
Anytime. And like I said, they're considering it a police think this is a full-time job for these people, and they're going day after day watching these people so carefully. And then when they leave, what's also interesting, I'll talk about this in the story tonight too, there's certain situations where it's not like they're following them for 10 minutes. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Once they follow you, they're committed to following you until they get the goods. There's one case that we're going to show people tonight where they drove the guy bought a watch, a really expensive watch at Johnny Dang & Co. here in the Galleria.
Yeah.
Drove all the way, followed the guy to Alvin, Texas.
Whoa.
From the Galleria area to Alvin.
To his house?
To his house. And that's where they pulled the gun on him and got the goods. Luckily, police made arrests. But the good news, if there's good news in this, is that police are becoming more aggressive.
Yeah.
They're not going to give away all their
All the
tactics
details,
or any of
yeah.
their tactics, but they are more aggressive, and they're out there watching just as much as those crooks are.
This is a story that people need to know about, for you to be aware, to tell your friends about. Marcelino Benito will have much more tonight on KHU 11 News at 10 with me and Mia, and David, of course, will be talking about all the rain we've been having. Hope you'll join us then, and of course, follow us around the clock on the KHU 11 mobile app. We'll see you at 10.